Okay, so in this problem, you are being asked to write this polynomial in factored form, and you're given that 6i is a 0. Okay, well, because they're giving us that 1, 0 is 6i, we automatically know that the conjugate of 6i is also a 0, and that would be negative 6i. So both of those we automatically know, and that happens with every imaginary number. The number and its conjugate are both going to be zeros. Okay, so in factored form, that would look like this, x minus 6i. Now I know it looks weird, bear with me. This would look like x plus 6i. And we know that when something's factored, it's all multiplied. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both of these, and then from that I'm going to get something that's much nicer looking. Okay. So when I multiply this, I get x squared plus 6ix minus 6ix minus 36i squared. Okay, so these cancel, and then I squared is negative 1, so that becomes positive 36. Okay, so now I have a factor. Now what's really nice about this is I can now divide this into this original thing. Now to do that, we're going to have to do long division. So I'm going to shift this up. So we're going to divide x squared plus 36 into 3x to the 5th plus x to the 4th, 81x cubed, and so forth. Okay, now the reason I can't use synthetic division is because what I'm dividing by has a degree of 2. If it had been a degree of 1, I could use synthetic division, but I can't. Actually, because it's missing 0x, I'm going to actually go ahead and put that in. So I'm going to do x squared plus 0x. I'm going to go and scribble that out. And that's what we're going to divide into. It'll just be easier to have that placeholder. Okay, so x squared goes into 3x to the 5th, 3x cubed times. And the idea is when I multiply this by this, I get 3x to the 5th. But I need to distribute it into all of this. 3 times 36 is 108. Oops, 108 x cubed. Okay, so now I'm going to subtract this, which means those two terms are going to cancel. That's just going to be x to the 4th. And this is going to become a negative, and so when I subtract them, I get 27x cubed. So I'm going to bring down the 27x squared, and I'm going to start again. So x squared into x to the 4th is going to go in x squared times. So x squared times x squared is x to the 4th. That's a 0, x cubed, and that's 36, x squared. And I subtract. That just cancels. This just carries down. These, oops, sorry, there's a 36 right there. These are going to subtract as well. And this is going to be negative, so the answer is negative 9x squared. And I'm going to bring down the 972x. Okay, so x squared into negative 27x cubed. That's going to be negative 27x. I don't know if you heard my dog sighing in the background, but she's really bored right now. Okay, so negative 27 times x squared is negative 27x cubed. That's just 0x squared. And then 27 times 36 actually comes out to 972. So convenient. Okay, so this cancels, and so does this, and all we're left with is 9x squared. So I'll just write 0x, and I'll bring down the negative 324. Okay, so last, to do this, I'm going to minus 9. That's going to give me negative 9x squared, 0x. 9 times 36 happens to be 324. I've done all the math, by the way, ahead of time. I'm not amazing. I just used the calculator. And now this cancels and gives me 0, which is what I knew it was going to do because this is a factor. I already knew that x squared plus 36 is a factor. So here's what I have right now. I have x squared plus 36 times 3x cubed plus x squared minus 27x minus 9. Okay, so now I'd like to factor this, just this right now. This is already complex, so we're just going to leave that alone. But this does factor, and actually I'm pretty tricky, and I can see that I might be able to factor by grouping. So if I go ahead and just group the first two terms, and then group the second two terms, out of here I'm going to factor out an x squared. Leaves me with 3x plus 1. Out of here, I'm going to factor out a negative 9, and I'm left with 3x plus 1. So I have 3x plus 1 times x squared minus 9. That factors into x plus 3x minus 3. I bring down the 3x plus 1, and I'm done. That's it. So I just threw in the x squared plus 36, and that is the answer.